There is a moment in many relationships that rarely gets talked about. A moment that doesn't come with arguments, tears, or dramatic goodbyes. It's quiet. Almost invisible. And yet, it is the moment everything truly ends. It's the moment a woman stops trying. Most people believe relationships end when someone leaves. But in female psychology, the emotional ending usually happens much earlier. Long before distance is visible. Long before silence becomes obvious. Long before a goodbye is spoken. The real ending happens internally, when effort no longer feels meaningful. When a woman stops trying, it is not because she suddenly stopped caring. It is because caring became something she had to do alone. Women are often socialized to nurture connection. To communicate. To explain. To give chances. To believe that effort can repair emotional gaps. Because of this, many women stay long after the relationship has begun to drain them. They don't leave at the first disappointment. They don't walk away from the first misunderstanding. They try. Repeatedly. Quietly. Patiently. Trying looks like initiating conversations that feel uncomfortable. It looks like explaining needs gently instead of demanding them. It looks like adjusting expectations and telling themselves to be understanding. It looks like emotional labor that is rarely acknowledged. And every time a woman tries without feeling met, something inside her weakens. Female psychology shows that women don't give up easily. They give chances. They reflect. They internalize problems before externalizing them. Instead of asking, "Why isn't this working?" they ask, "What can I do differently?" This internalization keeps them engaged far longer than people realize. But it also accelerates emotional exhaustion. The moment a woman stops trying is not impulsive. It is cumulative. It is the result of repeated moments where her effort was met with indifference. Where her vulnerability was met with defensiveness. Where her needs were acknowledged but not prioritized. Over time, trying starts to feel pointless. And when effort loses meaning, detachment begins. One of the most misunderstood signs in relationships is calmness. When a woman stops trying, she often becomes calmer, not more emotional. She stops arguing. She stops repeating herself. She stops pushing for resolution. From the outside, this can look like peace. But internally, it is resignation. She has realized that connection cannot be forced. That understanding cannot be begged for. That love cannot exist where emotional presence is optional. This is the stage where many partners make the mistake of feeling relieved. They think the conflict has ended. That things have stabilized. But what has actually happened is something far more serious. She has stopped investing emotionally. And emotional withdrawal is rarely reversed once it reaches this point. Female psychology explains that women often detach emotionally before they detach physically. By the time she stops trying, she has already grieved the relationship internally. She has already imagined life without it. She has already accepted the loss of the version of the relationship she hoped for. What remains is not anger, it is clarity. This is why explanations no longer come. She knows that explaining again will not create change. She knows that her emotional needs have been clearly expressed before. Silence, at this point, is not manipulation. It is closure. Another important truth is that when a woman stops trying, she stops seeing the other person as emotionally safe. Safety in relationships is not about comfort, it's about responsiveness. Feeling seen. Feeling valued. Feeling considered. When those elements disappear, emotional withdrawal becomes a form of self-protection. And once self-protection takes over, reconnection becomes extremely difficult. Many people try to re-engage only after they notice distance. After effort disappears. After warmth fades. But female psychology shows that by then, the emotional door is often already closed. Not slammed. Closed gently. With intention. For women, stopping effort is often an act of self-respect. It is the realization that love should not require self-erasure. That emotional consistency should not feel like a burden. That mutual effort is not something you have to teach. If you are a woman listening to this, understand this clearly: stopping effort does not make you cold. It makes you honest. It means you recognized when giving more was no longer loving, but self-sacrificing. And choosing yourself at that moment is not failure. It is growth. If you are trying to understand a woman who has stopped trying, know this: it did not happen suddenly. It happened after she tried in ways you may not have noticed. In moments you may have dismissed. In conversations you may not have taken seriously. When she stopped trying, she had already made peace with the outcome. Because when a woman stops trying, it's not a threat. It's not a test. It's not a phase. It's the end of emotional hope. And endings that happen quietly are often the most final.